What's up, everybody? And welcome back to the BallGame podcast. I am the innocent bystander, Matt Sullivan.
I am Trunks.
I'm Dean.
I'm Ortiz.
I'm Chris.
I don't like this.
Oh,
This is
The
weird.
like name round off went like in a little pinball.
Yeah,
I
no.
feel like he usually does.
Yeah.
Nah.
It's just
No, it definitely usually
we're,
does.
we're
It
just in
goes
different
ding,
seats
ding,
at the
ding,
moment.
ding.
That's all.
Yeah, I guess.
It just jumps all over the place typically, but yeah, obviously Trunks and Ortiz have swapped places today.
You guys even noticed?
Yeah, if you, it probably.
I mean,
didn't.
you guys probably didn't, but I did. I've noticed.
I mean, I would hope so. You
I don't like it.
moved
I know,
places.
I know.
We deliberately crawled under the table.
Well, no, he called.
Well, no, he crawled.
Okay,
He
yeah.
made
I-
us move.
Yes.
But yeah, the reason being Trincao is going to leave eventually, probably within an hour and a half or so, right? Is what time's right now?
Sooner than that, buddy.
And
Oh,
now
shit,
yes.
an hour and 15 minutes.
Trump's
So
counting the time.
we're
down.
gonna get as much of this done as possible in that time frame. But with that being said, this is not a basketball episode for once, as now basketball is over, and that means that the NFL season is in full effect. Even though no games have not started, it is now time to talk fantasy football. It is now time to talk predictions and division winners and potential Super Bowl winners in a future episode as well. So, today being the first episode that we are going to be covering our top 30 of positional rankings in fantasy football, that being quarterback, running back, tight end, wide receiver. And also we're going to be giving you guys division predictions, all the divisions. And today is the Southern divisions for both the AFC and the NFC. So, without further ado, actually last night was the NBA finals. We're not going to talk about that. We have an episode.
It was 2 weeks ago.
Well, yeah.
It was
Well,
2 weeks
last
ago.
night when we're recording this,
So old
NBA
news. The
finals.
Denver Nuggets.
Why are you
won the
talking
NBA
about
finals.
this,
Just
bro? It was
so
long
old
ago.
news.
I'm sorry. I know. I'm sorry. But anyways, go watch that episode of us covering the final game of the NBA finals from now 2 weeks ago. So just go watch it anyway if you want to, review the finals. But anyways, without further ado, we will get into our top 30 quarterbacks list. And we'll go from 30. We'll go in groups of 5. We'll go 30 to 26. By the way, guys, we have already done this. So we have a few bets that we'll mention. But the audio got messed up. So therefore, we had to re-record this. And if there is anything that we mention that is kind of like we already spoke about, that we mentioned that we've already spoken about, it's because of that. So, yeah, with that being said, number 30. Dean Wagner, who you got, man? 30 to 26.
So, not that any of these really kind of matter, and my list is gone. No, at 30 I have Desmond Ritter. 29 I have Ryan Tannehill. Then I have Kyler Murray. Kyler's there because he's probably not even going to play most of the season, but just in case he does, he'll probably be not the worst. Then we got Sam Howell, and then Mac Jones at 26.
Okay, Ortiz, you want to go?
We have Baker Mayfield at number 30. We have Kenny Pickett at number 29. We have Mac Jones at 28. Jordan Love at 27. And at 26, we have Kyler Murray.
I didn't even have Kyler on my list.
No, and that's fair. I think he probably won't play this season, but like I think there's a chance maybe he gets a couple games.
And if
I
he
don't know.
does, he's going to play, I think, like a top 15 quarterback.
Yeah,
He's on my list.
I guess.
He's just
don't-
going to
If
be.
he plays like
he's at
half
the
the
bottom.
season,
I don't see a reason to even play him. They'll be
Yeah, I
so
didn't-
far out.
I didn't rank him. I didn't
Yeah.
think he was going to play.
I probably, you probably could have gone either way. There weren't other quarterbacks that I was so even a little bit confident in. So
Come
I
on,
just threw Kyler
you're
in
not,
there.
you're not confident in like Sam Darnold?
Ooh, what
I
about
just-
Zach Wilson?
But I didn't put any of the San Francisco.
I was about to
quarterbacks in.
say the 3 San Francisco quarterbacks are all listed 31, 32, and 33. for me.
Right.
So
They're right there.
whichever one ends up starting.
Whichever one is put in, I'd probably put in between the ranges of like 13 and 20. Like if I knew which one was a starter, you know what I mean? If I knew Sam Darnold was starting, I'd probably put him up there in terms of fantasy rating.
Wow.
If Trey Lance was up there, I'd do the same fucking thing. Brock
Well,
Purdy.
Trey- Trey is different for fantasy.
I'm just saying, if I knew the starter, that's probably where they would be.
Fair enough. Trunks, who you got?
At 30, I have Baker Mayfield. 29, Desmond Ritter. 28, Brock Purdy. 27, Kenny Pickett. And 26, CJ Stroud.
Okay. Chris?
At 30, I have Baker. 29, Desmond Ritter. 28, Ryan Tannehill.
27, Mac Jones, and 26, Kenny Pickett.
At 30, I have Baker Mayfield. At 29, I have Ryan Tannehill. At 28, I have Sam Howell. 27, Desmond Ridder, and 26, Jimmy Garoppolo. Do we think that Jimmy's gonna play the entire season for the Raiders?
If he stays healthy. I don't know if he's even going into the season healthy.
I don't think he is.
It wasn't his physical failed or something?
I would have him high. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did fail his physical or something like that. I would have him higher if I was guaranteed a full bill of health from Jimmy, especially. And also, I don't know if Devontae Adams is going to be there come start of the season. I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be a bit of an issue. If you don't have Devontae Adams, you could just forget about that, and Garoppolo could drop out the top 30 altogether.
I just think they're not even going to be good. And
no, they're going to be shit.
And I think towards the end of the season, they're just going to give the rookie a chance at snaps.
But I don't know.
I don't think there's a reason to go Jimmy a full 17, full 6, like.
You guys seen the rumors that Tom Brady might come out of retirement now?
He's not coming out.
I think he just said one thing on a Mr. Beast video.
I know. Which is funny because
he was making a joke. I watched the video.
No, I know. I think he should come out of retirement.
I don't even think he thought he was going to hit the drone.
He didn't.
Don't play for the Raiders. He did hit the drone.
I'm saying he didn't think he was going to.
Oh, no, he definitely didn't think he was going to hit it. And then he did, and Tom's Tom.
Tom is definitely Tom.
Tom is
no way.
All right, we'll go 25 to 21 now. Dean, who you got?
So I got Jimmy at 25, Matt Stafford at 24. Then I got Kenny Pickett, CJ Stroud, and Bryce Young.
So why Stafford so low?
They're just gonna be no good. I just feel like I don't know. Another year of Stafford being older. He wasn't particularly great last year. He's just showing signs of regression. It's just getting to that time for him. He won a Super Bowl. The Rams did what they have to do. But I think that this season they're probably going to be selling at the deadline if I had to guess. So I just see them having a down season.
Do you see Stafford potentially getting traded?
Not at the deadline.
I think Stafford's staying there until
deadline. Yeah.
No, he will he traded maybe next season to I don't even know who, the Buccaneers, I
don't know. But yeah, exactly. Baker's ass.
So you think Baker's going to be bad?
That's not what I'm saying.
How good do you think Baker could be, Dean?
Better than other people have said.
You said so. All right, I'll reference.
We're not even there yet.
Oh, okay.
We're not even there yet. We'll talk about it when we talk about the divisions.
Fair.
Okay. So fair. So super fair.
All right. So you got 25 to 21.
25, I have Ryan Tannehill. Then 24, Brock Purdy, Desmond Ridder, CJ Stroud, and Anthony Richardson.
Wow.
So why Richardson so low with the potential that he has?
Well, I'll talk about his potential once again later, but just think for coming to the season, he's not going to be good. I don't think if he even starts. I think he's going to get off. He's going up to a very shaky start, but we know the potential that he could have, and that's why he's above these 9 other quarterbacks. I think he has the potential already just to be a top sub-20 quarterback in the league without even touching a football yet.
I just think with his running ability, his floor is so much higher than a lot of the guys above him. I think he's guaranteed to get, if he starts a good amount, to get 10 rushing touchdowns. And in terms of fantasy, having a guy that could put up 6 points more than other guys. His floor is just higher than a lot of other guys.
We're talking about this man could have running back production from the quarterback position as well.
Right. So he doesn't have to be he could be a bad thrower. He could be a really bad thrower, and he could still put up points in fantasy.
I think and I don't think, first of all, Anthony Richardson's going to start the entirety of the season. I don't believe that. I think Gardner Minshew will start the first quarter of the season or so, and then eventually just get benched because why the fuck are we playing Gardner Minshew when our team's pretty much a lost cause? Anthony Richardson 4, I feel, is a top half of the league in terms of fantasy football quarterback. That's his 4. I'm talking QB 16. I think his ceiling is top 5. honestly. Like, I think it's
And
even
he might get off to a slow start, but I feel like we talked about it before we fucked up, but I think he's gonna be top 5 the last couple games of the season. He's gonna really turn it up and
he'll be a league winner.
hit his stride, right? Be one of those league winners.
I absolutely agree. I think he in the final like 4 games of the season, he could be averaging like 25 to 30 points per game in fantasy football. Like his potential is that scary in fantasy. But all right, Trunks, go ahead. 25 to 21.
25, I have Jordan Love. 24, Mac Jones. 23, Jimmy Garoppolo. 22, Matt Stafford. And 21, Bryce Young.
Okay. Chris, who you got?
At 25, I have Trey Lance. 24, CJ Stroud. 23, Sam Howell. 22, Bryce Young. And 21, Derek Carr.
At 25, I have CJ Stroud. 24, I have Mac Jones. 23, Jordan Love. 22, Kenny Pickett. And 21, Matthew Stafford. So I have a question. If Mac Jones gets DeAndre Hopkins, how much does that change where you place a guy like Mac Jones, if at all?
I'd say move up a few spots. I don't know if it drastically changes his ranking for me. Maybe move up like 5 spots, if that.
I just think even the defenses in their division are so tough, and the secondaries of all those other teams like the Bills, the Jets, and the Dolphins are so good. Like, how much does DeAndre Hopkins even really help in those 6 games, that they play against those teams?
A lot.
I don't know.
Like
I feel like those defenses are better than whatever DeAndre Hopkins is going to be able to give you.
I mean, I don't disagree with that fact, but it changes the entire pecking order of who comes next. Like, you have Juju too, right? So here's my thing. If DeAndre Hopkins is getting guarded by a guy like Sauce Gardner, that changes everything for the rest of your team, because if Juju's getting guarded by a guy like Sauce Gardner, he's not going to do a goddamn thing. But my thing is D-Hop will somehow, some way get his. And then if you take away Sauce because he's now guarding D-Hop, you're giving Juju a bunch of opportunities underneath.
So DJ Reed,
I knew you were going to say that, but still,
who's still a top 10 corner.
But I don't know about top 10. That might be
top 12. Whatever it is.
But regardless, I mean, you're now taking Juju into an easier matchup because he is easier than Sauce Gardner.
I mean, Sauce Gardner is the best.
So regardless, I mean, it's just changing the entire pecking order and making life easier on the guys around him. That's what D-Hop also does. It frees up the game for everybody else that's involved when he's in his receiver room. That's simply put, he's that guy. So,
but in terms of fantasy, how many extra points does that give Mac?
No, I agree.
I
will put him. I don't know what Jordan Love's going to be. Like, I really don't know what to expect from Jordan Love. I don't know what to expect from Kenny Pickett. I think Kenny Pickett will have a good season, so this is a lower ranking for me. But I don't know what to expect from most.
A lot of people are predicting a breakout for Kenny Pickett.
I could see it. Yeah,
Jinx,
he has weapons now.
He does.
Like more.
I mean, he always had weapons.
Yeah, he has more weapons. I mean,
he's always had weapons. I mean,
yeah.
You're talking about George Pickens in his 2nd season now too. That's a guy that like we might mention in the top 30 for wide receivers. Who knows? Someone might throw him in there. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Pickens is him, and then you obviously have Deontay as well. So I don't know. Pickett could have a big season this year. It could be his breakout season. I don't know. All right. 20 to 16, Dean, who you got?
Got Jordan Love at 20, then Derek Carr, Jared Goofball, Geno Smith, and Kirk Cousins.
Why Geno so low?
It's not so much a Geno thing. I do think he's gonna regress from last season. He started off the season so fucking hot. He cooled off towards the end of the season. I don't see him replicating that kind of success. I know they got JSN. They have one of them, if not the most stacked receiver rooms in the league. I'm just not super confident that he's going to be able to replicate that. I also took a look at all the guys that I have in front of him, and I just trust that those guys are going to be able to outproduce him. That's all.
He was QB7 last year.
I understand that. I just
no. That's why I'm saying,
just, like, looking at this list, it's so hard to put him over guys that I know are going to have great seasons.
No, I do agree with you. I do agree with you. It's tough. That low is still tough for a guy like Geno Smith, though.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ortiz.
20, I have Bryce Young. 19, I have Stafford. At 18, I have Russ. At 17, I have Kirk Cousins. And at 16, I have Derek Carr.
So you don't see a bounce back from Russ? Granted, this is a better placement than he was last year.
I mean, this is better placement, so I feel like he's going to be okay. He's not going to be dangerous.
You don't think we'll ever see...
He's going to be calm, Russ.
You don't think...
Mr. Unlimited.
You don't think we're going to ever see Danger Russ Wilson again?
Will he have more touchdowns or bathrooms this season?
I think he will take over the amount of touchdowns he has in bathrooms.
I agree.
I just don't see a fucking way that Russell Wilson doesn't produce this year. Nathaniel Hackett's out. He's not a good head coach. He looked better towards the end of the season. They were actually moving the ball. They're actually scoring. He has so many weapons around him. I know Javante's hurt, which fucking blows.
He'll be back.
But I just don't even see a world where he can't produce.
I mean,
I just don't.
You have Sean Payton now.
Yeah.
Right.
Like,
right. If you don't produce here, like, you're the biggest failure ever, I think.
Jesus, the man is a Super Bowl.
Come on.
No, that's an exaggeration. That's an exaggeration. But this whole thing this was blown out
Russ
of proportion.
Experiment has been a massive failure. I agree with.
We'll see what happens when they get into the red zone and see if they take 6 minutes.
Bro,
he looks like he's in shape too. He kind of looked fat last couple of years.
A lot He looked a lot skinnier in this offseason. He really
Hopefully
did.
That does something.
Not always a great thing though, because then you could get hurt a lot easier.
He was clearly not playing better when he was fat.
No. No.
I guess. He still has a beautiful wife though, so it's okay.
Don't bring her into this.
She has nothing to do with his fantasy ranking.
He does. I'm just stating the fact. Go ahead, John.
20, I have Kyler Murray. 19, Jared Goff. 18, Derek Carr. 17, Anthony Richardson. And 16, Russell Wilson.
We're very high on Anthony Richardson.
Blind rank these quarterbacks' wives based on their
We should do that.
We should do that.
At 20, I have Matt Stafford. At 19, Kirk Cousins. 18, Daniel Jones. 17, Anthony Richardson. And 16, Jordan Love.
Daniel Jones that low, man. That hurts. Like, that actually really hurts.
Dimes.
Where does it hurt?
Danny.
Your heart?
My heart.
Oh.
Why does that hurt your
like
heart?
right through my heart, honestly.
Oh.
All right. Well, anyway.
I just don't think they did that much to improve their weapons.
I think they did a lot to improve their weapons.
They got the Walrus.
They got not only Darren Waller.
I don't think it was enough to move the needle for me for Daniel Jones. I think his rushing is going to be down, and I don't think he's going to be better as a passer, but he's not going to be as much better as a passer to make up for, I think, the loss of rushing. I think they're going to throw the ball a lot more.
They're still missing a number one receiver.
I'm not disagreeing, but they have so many guys. Look,
so many.
They're not really missing a number one receiver because you don't necessarily
mid to above mid equals number one.
No, I'm not saying that, but at the same time, you have your number one. If he stays healthy, it's Darren Waller. Because we've seen that.
I don't think Darren Waller is one of those guys where could be your number one receiver. I don't think he's that guy.
In like 3 years.
You give that, bro.
He's not Kelsey. He's not Kittle. He's not.
That's not true.
Mark Andrews.
He literally was that guy.
I know, but it's been like 3 years, Matt. I think it'll be good. I think he's going to have his best.
When he's been healthy, he's still been effective.
Bro, he's a sick tight end. But I don't think you can go into your season relying on him to be your number one receiver, and that's going to be the guy that takes you over the top. I still think that there's a need that the Giants haven't particularly addressed fully yet.
I think it's arguably better when you have your tight end as one of those types of weapons. Because of the fact that it's so much more of a.
But your idea of Darren Waller is.
I'm telling you right now, Darren Waller is going to be back to prime Darren Waller.
But in the tight end position, there's only maybe 4 or 5 guys who are that, and he's not in that 4 or 5 group.
What do you mean?
No, he's not, bro. No, he's not.
Darren Waller, top 5 tight ends?
He's not.
So.
Oh my God.
He hasn't been.
What do you mean?
He was hurt.
Bro,
I was hurt last season.
He's not top 3.
Bro, he is top 4. He is top 4. He's 4th. He's 4th.
Yeah, you have Kelsey, Kittle, Andrews, and then Darren Waller.
And if you want to do that, then Andrews is the same case, bro.
I guess you could say Hawk.
I'm taking Darren Waller over Hawk.
I'm taking Hawk and Sox over Waller.
If you want to do that, I mean, look, Mark Andrews has been injured too. But we're gonna consider him top 3.
No,
top
Mark
4.
Andrews has put up great seasons in the past 3 years. Darren Waller hasn't.
We could talk about this on the tight end list.
For these standards.
That is true.
So
That is true.
We can talk about everyone write down your note.
And
Don't
I
tell me
think you're
Dallas
both-
Goedert is better than Darren
I think
Waller.
you're both
Don't do
missing
that.
the point. Like, bro, we know Darren Waller's a good player wherever you want to rank him, but he's just not at that stage in his career anymore where he could be the number 1 guy. He's a great tight end
I don't know.
option, but you still need a number 1 receiver.
And we have him.
he's-
His name is Isaiah Hodgins.
If Isaiah Hodgins breaks out, then that's great for them.
Like that's just not serious to me.
That is serious.
He's a good
he
player.
did it last season.
But you know what I'm saying? That's not like what like
He's so
No,
frustrated.
because they don't have a number 1 receiver.
We
Don't
will.
try telling me that
We
they
will.
do.
You'll
And
see.
Darren Waller, great fucking tight end. Great fucking. I'll even agree with you. Top 5, sure, awesome.
Easy.
But that's not the kind of guy he is. He's not Kittle, Kelsey, Andrews.
He was better.
That's the level of tight end where you have to be the number 1 option.
He was having
and he's
statistical
under
production that was better than them. Maybe not Kelsey, but he was having statistical
Not-
production.
bro,
that was
man,
better
that was
than
like
George
3
Kittle.
years
Not
ago.
I'm just
in
saying,
football. It's
bro.
a fucking long ass time,
All right,
bro.
all right. We're gonna see Darren Waller back to that version of Darren Waller this season. We will.
I hope so. No, I
will.
hope so. I'm not like
All right,
hoping
Guys,
he does
this is
bad.
quarterbacks.
all I was saying was I think Daniel Jones is gonna take a slight regression in terms of fantasy. That's it.
You idiot.
I just don't. I don't see it, man. I don't see it. All right. Anyways, at 20, I have Derek Carr. At 19, I have Bryce Young. At 18, I have Tua Tagovailoa. At 17, I have Jared Goff. At 16, I have Geno Smith. So Tua is rather low, I know, but
So I'm taking it from 15.
Why so low for Tua? It's not too low.
I
but
get scared
pretty
he
low.
won't play a full season. If that's lit, and I know we have to like assume that it's
Assume health.
yes, we have to assume health, but at the same time, I'm ranking my draft board based on where I'm drafting guys, and I'm drafting these other guys before I'm drafting Tua because I am afraid of the health concerns.
That is fair.
So
All right. So at 15, I have Deshaun Watson. 14, I have Russell Wilson. Tua at 13, Dak Prescott at 12, and Daniel Jones at 11.
Deshaun at 15.
Think that's low or high? I guess
think
low. I'm the first one at
I
7.
mean,
Yeah,
I think it's low,
I think it's low, but
but
I feel like you could have him in
We'll-
any
we'll
of this
go
range just
through-
because last we saw of him,
that's
he
what I'm
was-
saying.
he was
It's been,
ass.
it's just, it's
The
just
last we
been
saw
a
him
long
was
time.
ass.
I think there's potential that he moves up into the top 10. But
Yeah.
before the season starts, before I've seen a thing, I'm not going to put all my chips on Deshaun Watson to be a top 10 quarterback again. You know, it might even take another season of him getting back into the groove of things. It might take him until the last, quarter of the season to really hit his stride. So I'm not really, super high on him in terms of fantasy this year.
Okay, go ahead, Ortiz.
what are we doing?
15.
15, nice. 15, I have Geno Smith. 14, I have Dak Prescott. 13, I have Aaron Rodgers. 12, I have Daniel Jones. And 11, I have Jared Goff.
Jared Goff at 11.
The
Yeah.
goofball.
Dak at 14.
Yep.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Mad
You think,
interceptions.
you think that's low too?
Yes,
I think
like
so.
significantly low because he's
just-
finished top 10
there's
almost every
just
single
so
year of
many
his career.
Talented quarterbacks in the
I
league
mean,
right now that
He's
I
been
like,
one of them.
I mean,
in fantasy.
This
Yeah,
my
you're right.
my
You're
top
right.
30 list isn't law. It could change.
No, of course.
Dak Prescott could
Oh.
most definitely move up.
No, I know, but I'm just arguing what you have right now. So what am I supposed to do? Just sit here and be like, oh, okay, yeah, perfect. No, I'm just gonna argue it a little
It's
bit.
his law.
Yeah.
Tony's laws.
I'm not even. I'm just asking. like,
Tony T
I
guaranteed.
was just wondering. And, okay, that's your reasoning. Like the interceptions. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't think he's gonna take a step back from on his interceptions, bro? You have 15. He led the league last year,
Yeah.
and a lot of them were on his receivers.
And he's gonna
if we're being
double it.
entirely honest. So I
and now they have Brandon Cooks.
think he might cut it in half. Honestly,
Mm.
think he might have 7 or 8 this season. But all right, go ahead, Trunks.
15, Kirk Cousins. 14, Aaron Rodgers. 13, Tua. 12, Daniel Jones. And 11, Geno Smith.
You don't think that's high for Geno?
No,
No,
No.
that's where he finished
I'm
last
the only
season.
one
It's
that
lower
thinks-
than he finished last
he
season.
was top 5 last year.
Top 7.
No, he was 5.
Was he really?
Yeah. He was definitely 5.
Guy carried me to a Super Bowl.
I'm like 90% sure.
Do you know it was the QB5 last season?
Yeah, he was the QB5.
There's just no way in my brain he does that again.
That's
I don't
fine.
think
he
he
doesn't
has
have
to
to be
do that.
5. I had him 11.
No, I mean, I don't think he's going to replicate that. He was quite
guess
literally. He was quite literally
I had him
historic.
at 17.
He had a historic quarterback season.
I guess that's
Yeah.
pretty low, but
It
I'm
is
kind of
pretty low.
sticking to it.
I had him at 16, so I get it. Go ahead, Chris.
At 15, I have Jared Goff. 14, Russell Wilson. 13, Dak Prescott. 12, Tua, and 11, Gino.
Okay, at 15, I have Kirk Cousins. At 14, I have Russell Wilson. At 13, I have Aaron Rodgers. At 12, I have Anthony Richardson. And at 11, I have Deshaun Watson.
All right.
And as I said, I would have Anthony Richardson in the top 5 if he played the full season. So it's just, I don't think he will. But all right,
So
now we into the top 10.
So everyone said Anthony Richardson, or no?
Yes.
Yes, everyone has said it.
Seems I
At
haven't.
this point.
Yeah.
You're the highest on him.
So at 10, I have Aaron Rodgers. At 9, I have Trevor Lawrence. At 8, I have Joe Burrow. At 7, I have Anthony Richardson. And at 6, I have Justin Herbert.
That's crazy.
You
That's
changed it.
absurd.
Did I change it?
I'm
Yes,
pretty sure you had
definitely-
Anthony
you
Richardson at
definitely
like
changed.
9 or 10.
No, I had him at 7 the whole
Yeah, I
time.
don't
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yo, Dean, want
Above
to say,
Joe Burrow?
these are our top 10 fantasy quarterbacks.
These are our top 10 fantasy quarterbacks.
That's it. That's so good.
Blind rank. No.
Say it in Spanish.
Redrafting.
Say it in Spanish.
Sorry, wrong one.
Yeah, but that's
Apuestas de ball game.
that's pretty low for Joe
Joe
Shiest.
Burrow
Very
at
low for
8.
Joe Burr.
At 8. Trevor Lawrence, the god, at 9.
Well, the guys I put ahead of ahead of him in particular, like Anthony Richardson, Justin Fields, Lamar Jackson,
Hey, whoa.
and Josh Allen. They're all
Whoa.
runners of the football. Very good
Giving it
runners of the
away.
football.
We don't even know how many games Anthony.
You knew
Richardson's
those
gonna
guys
play.
were ahead of him. I'm just naming guys that are ahead of him.
I know, but
So what if Gardner Minshew comes out and the Colts are 3-1? He's not getting benched.
Time out. Justin Herbert.
That's not gonna happen.
6. Wow.
You think that's high?
Jay Herbo.
over Burrow.
Yeah, it's pretty criminal to have.
All right.
Justin Herbert.
I feel
ahead
like
of Joe
those
Burrow.
two guys could be switched. I could see a world
the
where
board
that's
over
a
there?
thing.
Okay.
But I
We're
also
gonna
made
have-
a bet with Matt.
We're gonna have to explain this. You didn't
The
make that bet
board.
with me. That was not.
No,
the
that's a
bet
bet
No.
with Trump.
That's
So I made a bet with
Oh
Trunks.
yes, we did make this bet.
And the bet was what? That I said Joe
Herbert
Herbert would have a better fantasy season?
Justin Herbert would have a better.
Like just straight up.
Joe Burrow.
Be ranked
straight
higher.
up.
at the
ranked
end of the
higher?
season. I said Joe Burrow would be ranked higher.
All right. It's gonna happen.
All right.
There you go. $50.
Say
Yes,
bless.
Yeah, it's-
Have we that's not how I
Have we
talk.
Did we pass one of the ones that we?
Did we pass one, Chris?
No, we haven't passed one.
No.
No. All right.
Okay, cool.
Oh, I know what the other one was.
I know one of them.
Yeah.
It's
but
because I think
made
last
two-
time we
I
did
know-
a different order.
I made a
was
bet
with
talking
you,
first.
too,
Yeah.
right?
That's why
I
it's
don't
first
remember
on the
that
board.
one.
I remember that one. Don't you worry.
So we'll get to that now. Honestly,
We are going to get to it right now.
go.
At number 10, we
Oh.
have Tua. At 9, we have Deshaun Watson. At 8, we have Trevor Lawrence. At 7, we have Lamar Jackson.
God.
Say 7.
Yes, 7. And at 6, we have Justin Herbert.
That's criminal.
What the
What
fuck?
the fuck?
What the fuck?
So the bet that was placed was Lamar Jackson will finish 7 or lower, or he'll.
If
and I
he
win.
finishes
Okay.
7 or lower, Ortiz would win the bet. But if Lamar finishes 5th or higher,
We went 4 or higher,
4 or high, oh boy, wow.
and then 5 or 6 is a grace.
5 or 6 is a
Now
okay.
5 or 6, me, Dean, and Trunks win the bet.
No.
Yeah.
So-
and
so-
you guys have to split the money between yourselves.
yeah.
Like pay. Someone has to pay each other.
So you have Justin
not us.
Herbert
Yeah,
ahead of
'cause we're not
Lamar.
paying you guys.
You have Justin Herbert ahead of Lamar. Right? Do
I do.
you want to make another bet?
Oh boy.
No,
Ah,
Damn, you're not confident?
So
it's not.
why
4 or high.
why do you think Lamar won't be a top 5 fantasy quarterback?
Well, we had this discussion before, and it's stupid to say now because we always have to assume health. But I just think Lamar Jackson's going to get like a ticky-tack injury, he's going to be walking around one day, roll his ankle, walking off the curb. He's out for 2 weeks.
What was our injury clause? If he misses
4
4 or more
weeks.
games?
Yeah.
4 or more games? Okay, then it's off. Got it. But
Kind of bet has
it'd
an
have
injury
to be
clause.
like it'd
This
have
one.
to be a legit injury. We said because if it's like these tic tac where it's
Well,
like
yeah,
1 week
that's
here,
why
1
he
week there.
has 4 weeks.
Okay, so all right,
Damn.
yeah, for sure.
I think you're bugging.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
There's an alternate universe where the audio recorded on the last one, and these people didn't see this one.
Yeah, there is. This wouldn't.
Well,
have
this
happened.
wouldn't be a real thing right now.
Right. There's in an
The
alternate
BallGame
universe, that's what happened.
multiverse.
It's
Yeah.
sad. It really is.
The BGU.
One day,
The bagoo.
like way
The
down
bagoo.
the one day, like 2 years from
The
now,
bagoo.
we'll release that. Just just because with how
Why?
shit the audio is, because we feel
Fuck.
like it. Because we feel like it.
The lost
Un-
tapes.
The lost
lost
files of
tapes.
BallGame podcast. Find it on the dark web.
Go ahead, Trunks. 10
At
to 6.
10, I have Deshaun Watson. 9, Dak Prescott. 8, Justin Herbert. 7, Trevor Lawrence, and 6, Justin Fields.
All right, Chris, what you got?
At 10, I have Aaron Rodgers. 9, Justin Herbert. 8, Deshaun Watson. 7, Trevor Lawrence, and 6, Joe Shiesty.
So Dean and Chris, you guys really do think Aaron Rodgers is about to have like a elite season?
Yeah, I think he knows he doesn't have much time left, and he needs to put in all the energy and effort he can to what he's doing with the Jets. And I think they have the weapons in place. Like Garrett Wilson, he has a couple familiar faces in Randall Cobb and Lazard, and he's familiar with the offense and Hackett. What?
No, nothing.
No.
So yeah, I think all the pieces are in place for him to have one of the more, if not the most successful season in his career.
Of his career,
We'll see.
Aaron Rodgers.
Has a chance to make it one of the most successful seasons in his career.
It's
Yeah.
like 17 MVP.
Are you talking about statistically or just
Fantasy-wise.
Winning games and statistically, I think he's so set up to succeed. It's like it's almost perfect.
I don't know about all that. It's not perfect, but
It's
cool.
pretty close.
Perfect.
it's solid.
The only thing I would say that the Jets could use one more receiver.
You could use an offensive line.
I just think he's
I
going to
think
be
line
the
isn't
best
bad.
fantasy quarterback.
That's fair.
I don't think that means
And you know what, Chris? I don't think your word is law either. That could change.
he could finish like 14,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
still be good.
Yeah.
I agree. You could be a good quarterback and finish like 16th.
Because
Yeah, I don't think
fans.
10's all that like crazy high.
10's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll do better
mean-
than Daniel Jones.
No, he won't. No, he will not.
No, he won't.
All right. At 10, I have Dak Prescott. At 9, I have Justin Herbert. At 8, I have Daniel Jones. At 7, I have Trevor Lawrence. And at 6, I have Joe Burrow.
Put Daniel Jones at 8, and you're calling me crazy for putting Aaron Rodgers at
I
so
think
crazy.
you're so crazy.
So
So-
crazy.
so crazy.
So crazy.
I think you're
Why?
incredibly great.
Like,
No,
what
no.
the fuck
I
sense
don't
does
think-
that make?
I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to. I mean, Daniel Jones quite literally finished in the top 10 in fantasy football last season. So it makes plenty of sense, actually. And
true.
we could be talking
But Aaron
about
Rodgers
Daniel
went to a
Jones
new team that's a
potentially-
lot better. Aaron
I-
Rodgers lost Devontae Adams last season. He didn't have anybody. He had Alan Lazard. That was
My-
his best receiver.
I'm not
But
saying
guess what?
otherwise.
He doesn't have Devontae Adams this season, and he has
He has
Alan
Garrett
Lazard.
Wilson.
That's true.
He is potentially a top 5
He still
receiver.
has
So
those
No. I
He
love
hasn't
Garrett
gotten
Wilson.
rid of.
I love Garrett Wilson. I have him on my dynasty team. So Garrett Wilson's going to go nuts this season. I agree. But he's not Devontae Adams.
well, how is Garrett Wilson going to go nuts if,
Oh, it's
if
Garrett
Aaron
Wilson.
Rodgers doesn't go nuts?
Well, Aaron Rodgers can go nuts, but nobody else can. I mean, well, Garrett Wilson can go nuts, but nobody else can go nuts. And that means Aaron Rodgers didn't go nuts.
Go crazy, go stupid.
Ah.
so that's entirely possible.
But who the fuck is Daniel Jones throwing to?
We
The
what
Waller.
else?
Darren Waller.
Isaiah Hodgins.
We already did this.
Top
Aaron Waller's
four
not better
top
than
four
Garrett
tight end.
Wilson.
Darius
Who's a better
Slayton,
quarterback?
Paris Campbell.
Who's a better quarterback, Daniel
Saquon.
Jones or Aaron Rodgers?
Well, this is fantasy.
Yeah,
I'm
This
just
is
asking.
fantasy
Him. I don't
football.
care. I'm
This
asking
is
him a
Aaron
question.
Rodgers
Fantasy
is probably
I'm
football.
asking you a question.
Aaron Rodgers is
Daniel Jones
obviously
could
the
run the
better quarterback.
Okay, that's all I need. to hear.
Fantasy-wise, Daniel Jones is better.
I don't know
It's-
if that's
it's
He
simple.
has
I know, I
more
don't know
boom
if it's
potential.
that simple.
Why?
He has
Yeah,
more
why
boom
is he
potential.
just better?
All right,
Rushing
who's
abilities.
can I ask something?
Bro, just
Can I
because
ask
a
something?
quarterback runs the ball doesn't mean he's guaranteed to be better than a passing
No,
quarterback.
That's not true. I
It's
know
not
that, but it's
guaranteed,
also that
but-
Daniel Jones his receiving core has improved enough to the point where we could be talking about a guy who's throwing for 4,000 and rushing for 500.
Aaron Rodgers also takes off in the red zone. He gets his
Bro,
rushing touchdowns.
He's not getting more than Daniel Jones this season.
Like,
No,
I
but
know
Aaron
that,
Rodgers
but Aaron
will throw a
Rodgers-
lot better than
yeah,
Daniel
Aaron
Jones.
Rodgers is gonna. Bro, Daniel Jones threw what? Like 15 passing touchdowns last year, something like that.
With a
And he was
terrible
still a
receiving
top
core
10
and offensive
right,
line.
and he
And
was
Aaron
still a
Rodgers could
top
probably
10
throw
and
35 with
both are
ease.
Aaron
incredibly
Rodgers had a
improved.
down year. Like we've seen Aaron Rodgers be a top 10 quarterback.
Would you like to make another
We
bet on
we
this
saw that
podcast
Aaron
right now?
we saw that Aaron Rodgers was clearly not motivated in his last season.
I'll make a bet. I'll take Aaron Rodgers over fucking Daniel Jones.
Well, no,
I'll
I'm not
throw
betting.
100
I'm not
beans
betting
on it.
fantasy. I was gonna say
What do
touchdown
you mean?
passes
No,
in
you're
terms
no,
of
no, no.
Daniel Jones.
Touchdown passes?
Yeah, I'll take that in a heartbeat.
I'll
$100.
put 100 beans on it.
Oh no, not Aaron Rodgers versus Danny. Like a number.
What do you
for
mean?
Daniel
Like a
Jones.
spread?
No,
If you're confident in your guy.
23.5 right now passing touchdowns for Daniel Jones.
We're not doing that.
No, we're doing them versus each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're kind of comparing them.
If you're that confident in your guy,
No, because I'm saying
I'm not that
Daniel Jones is
confident.
rushing. We'll
What
put
about
him
what
over
about
Aaron
total
Rodgers.
touchdowns?
I don't know. I don't think it's crazy to have Daniel Jones
I'll give Aaron Rodgers more
finish
total
above Aaron
touchdowns.
Rodgers. I think it's crazy that you're saying we're crazy for having
I don't
Aaron
think
Rodgers.
you guys are crazy for him finishing in the top 10. I was just asking. Like you guys
No,
are
but
very
then
high
the
on-
did say I was
reactions,
crazy.
and then Trunks was like, "Well, it's simple. Aaron Rodgers is better at real football, and Daniel Jones is better at fantasy football."
which is
I
Yeah,
don't
quite
know if
literally
it's
true.
simple though.
it is.
It's not. I mean,
It was one season.
Yeah,
bro.
I don't know. Just because
At
last
this point, I would think.
What do
I
you
would
mean at
take
this
Daniel
point?
Jones just because of his rushing ability.
I think.
But it was one season where that rushing ability, like Aaron Rodgers had an off year. He was not motivated. He didn't want to be in Green Bay.
It was the
Well,
first
yeah, that's
season he
fine,
had a
though.
good offensive coordinator.
Who?
Daniel Jones.
Okay.
Of his entire career.
He
The
had a
first
good
season
year.
that
I
he
just-
had a good
I don't
offensive
know if it's
coordinator.
that
And now we get-
replicable.
I mean,
I think he's going to be a better quarterback. I think his passing numbers are going to increase. I just think they're going to try and throw the ball more. They have these weapons. The rushing volume, just by the law of averages, probably has to go down a little bit.
I think he finishes with over 4,200 total yards this season.
It's a lot of yards.
imagine he throws for 8,000 yards.
It's a lot
this
of
season.
yards.
Do you
Daniel
wanna bet it?
Jones.
4,200
4,200
total passing and rushing.
How many did he have last season?
Like 35, 36.
I gotta do more research. I'll get back to you.
I don't know.
Let him know in 2
I don't know the numbers like that.
I just think it's fair to predict
No, I think-
Aaron Rodgers, an all-time great, who just happened to have a down season. Now he's probably on a better offense, I think.
I think so.
Better
You
More
expect him
coaching
to
and
bounce
vibes
back.
and
And Aaron Rodgers,
better vibes.
Aaron Rodgers, aside from last year, his floor is probably a top 10 fantasy quarterback.
I don't know about 4, but
I mean,
He had been a top 5 fantasy quarterback for a while.
yeah,
No?
I
Top
don't
7?
have the exact numbers, but I'm just gonna assume he's not for most of his career. I don't know where he even finished last year. I'll check that right now, but I feel like for most of his career, he probably
he's been
finished near the
10.
top.
Yeah.
He was top 13 last year,
on an off year.
and one of those guys is gone. He left, Tom Brady, so he automatically moves up a spot. So he finished top 12.
that's not necessarily true though, because you could have other guys
Where the
stepping
fuck
up
did
at
Tom
that
Brady
spot.
go?
Like who?
He's
On
gone.
Mr. Beast.
Like Anthony Richardson?
Like, well, yes,
Davis
Akers,
Mills.
obviously.
Oh.
He was the quarterback 21 last year.
Davis Mills, fucking Christ.
Wow.
I dropped him in Dynasty.
Come
It
on,
was,
As you
it
should,
was a
bro.
good run.
as you should have been.
Long
Still
neck
Brock
bull.
Purdy.
the middleman.
All right, we got 5-1 now, right?
Yep.
Bless you.
Bless you.
What you got, Dean? Who are
Dean,
your
say
top
the-
5?
Yeah. Say the thing. Say the thing.
These are our top 5 quarterbacks
Oh my god.
in fantasy. Oh God, I had
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
These are our top 5 quarterbacks in fantasy.
Top
At
5.
5, I have Justin Fields. At 4, I have Patrick Mahomes. At 3, I have Lamar Jackson. At 2, I have Josh Allen. And at 1, I have Jalen Hurts.
Okay, Jalen Hurts is your QB1.
Jalen Hurts, my QB1.
Go ahead, Ortiz.
At 5, we have Joe Shiesty. At 4, we have Jalen Hurts. At 3, we have Justin Fields. At 2, we have Patrick Mahomes. And at 1, we have Josh Allen.
3, Justin Fields.
Uh-huh.
Nice. Wow. Go ahead, John.
At 5, I have Joe Burrow. At 4, Lamar Jackson. At 3, Patrick Mahomes. 2, Jalen Hurts, and 1, Josh Allen.
And then finally,
At 5, I have Justin Fields. At 4, Josh Allen. At 3, Patrick Mahomes. 2, Jalen Hurts, and 1, Lamar Jackson.
You're mistaken, brother.
Lamar.
He's gonna have the best year of his career.
Wow.
You
All right.
He's mistaken.
I said he's mistaken, brother. And I quote.
At 5, I have Justin Fields. At 4, I have Lamar Jackson. At 3, I have Patrick Mahomes. At 2, I have Josh Allen. And my QB1 is Jalen Hurts. So,
Wow.
there we go.
We did it.
QB. That's it.
All right, Chris, you posed the question last time we did this. You said, what quarterback that's not in the top 10 has the potential to be in the top 10?
This was a stupid question. It's just everyone's number 11.
Is it though? All right, so we'll say below your QB 15. Below your QB 15, who would you say
Below 15, that's
has
tough.
the most potential to be in the top 10?
Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, I guess. By default, it's not going to be Russell Wilson. I guess it could be. I don't know.
I'm taking Jared Goff.
I'll take Anthony Richardson.
That's not the question we asked before.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
No,
it
we
wasn't.
said under 10
Yeah.
because I picked
Well,
Deshaun Watson and he was my 15. We said 10 before.
Well, that's why.
Yeah,
Because we all would have picked either.
So now it's under
11.
15.
That was the point.
Cool.
Well,
Under
that last
QB.
podcast doesn't even matter.
Doesn't
that
exist.
literally doesn't.
No, you're right.
exist.
I was
We
just
keep
I don't
even know what
talking
you guys are
about it like
talking
it's a
about.
thing.
Yeah, that never happened.
What didn't happen?
Shut up.
So I'm taking Jared Goff.
Okay.
I'm gonna take.
Anthony Richardson.
I have a Rich in my top 11.
Well, Trunks doesn't. That's why I said it.
I'm gonna go with Tua. I have Tua in my below 15, so I'm gonna go with Tua there. I think he could be a top 10 fantasy quarterback.
Tua
this season.
Tagovailoa, fuck yourself.
Hey.
What? What's the point of that?
I don't know. It's just that I didn't even mean for that.
Fuck you.
I didn't even mean for that to
Fuck
come
you.
out. That was just something that was happening in my brain.
You let the intrusive thoughts win, Dean.
I did. I didn't even realize I said it.
What? All right. Well, after that, now we do the division winners and division predictions for the AFC and the NFC South.
The two worst divisions in the league.
Arguably the two worst divisions in the
Yeah.
entire NFL.
You all stink, except for like maybe 2 of these teams, because 2 of these
Yeah.
teams
One of
have to win.
They have to.
Someone has to win the division.
Someone does have to win this division. All right. So we'll start with the AFC South, which I think most of us would say is the worst division in the NFL. All right. We'll start with the Houston Texans.
Yo, hit us with the
injury.
over under win totals for the AFC South.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Over under win totals for the AFC South.
Yeah.
So for the Texans, over under 6.5 wins.
Under.
Taking the under.
Whoa.
Wow.
The
But-
Texans stink.
I don't
Tex-
agree.
So stinky. So stinky.
They don't. No, they're bad.
They made some improvements this offseason. Their defense is going to be better probably than people think they are going into it.
I think their floor is very low.
Yeah, I think their floor is super low. They lack playmakers.
Play McKeers.
They lack playmakers. Nico Collins, you expect him to be better, but not really sure what Nico Collins being better really does for you.
No.
CJ Stroud's probably going to struggle a little bit as a
They
rookie.
added Dalton Schultz. Okay?
Yeah.
They have some
good
solid
upgrade.
running backs there in Damian Pierce and Devin Singletary. The offensive line is much improved. They're
Yeah, but they're still buns. Like the team overall
not
is
buns.
buns.
I wouldn't say buns. They're
I
not
mean,
buns.
you took their under.
We all took
we
them-
took their under on
I know,
5.5 wins,
but I have
and that's
them at
probably the lowest
no, it's
line.
6.5. 6.5. I have them at 6 wins. I think they'll win 6 games, which, like, yes, it's not exactly a good team, but like, I think they're gonna be that type of team that like they start the season slow, but then they finish strong and carry momentum into the following season. So like, I think they'll win 60. I think they're gonna play playoff spoiler for somebody. That's
Robert
what I
Woods
think.
is going to lead them to the promised land.
Yeah.
It's a bad like receiving core, but outside of that receiving core, it's a solid team.
You kind of
take
need receivers
If
to
you
win
just,
football
all right,
games.
if you just throw away their weapons, it's a very solid football. It's
No,
a
it's
good
not.
football team.
Bro, what are we
No, it's
talking about?
not.
No.
Yes, it is.
You could have the
Bro,
greatest
what are
team
you
ever, but
saying?
you need weapons.
No, I know, but that's why I said if you throw the weapons away,
It's still
just
not a
forget
good
about 'em.
football team.
What do you mean?
bro.
How is it not a good football team?
They don't have weapons.
What's a weakness outside of their receiving core?
Motherfucker, they're one of the worst teams in the league.
Okay, I just asked you a question.
They have a
What
good
is their
O-line.
weakness?
Sick.
Yes.
They have, bro.
They're-
Great defensive line.
They're poorly owned. They don't have a decent fan base. It's just a not.
I don't know if I'd say their defensive line is necessarily great.
It's not great, bro.
Well,
What's
no,
great?
It's
not top 10.
It's a
They're-
good defensive line.
They're mid.
Yeah, they have some good pieces, but
Bro, they're a bad team. They're
They're
a bad
not
team.
a good.
With no
football
weapons,
team.
they're not going to get
They're
it.
a
They're
bad
not-
line's at 6.5 for
their
a reason.
linebackers suck.
yeah,
That's it.
they do.
The linebackers suck. They
secondary
have
is
no
gonna be
weapons.
really good.
Their
The
secondary is
secondary
very
is
good.
currently not very good though.
Yes, it is.
Nah, it's pretty good.
Their secondary is very good.
Bro. They're a bad football team.
I
Yeah.
agree because their weapons suck and they have a rookie quarterback.
Okay.
I
So
agree.
that's it.
That's
Point
fine.
blank. That's what it is.
There we go.
They're a bad football team.
Put some damn respect on the Texans, man.
No, I don't have to.
They're gonna shock the world.
And do what? Get
Win 7
wins?
games. They're gonna shock the world and win 7
Listen,
games.
If they're, I will say, with the strength of schedule, could see them winning some game like over. I could see it. There's a world where that's possible, but they're still a bad football team. They're still bad. Just
Oh.
their strength of schedule is super easy.
I don't think they're the worst team in this division. That's all I'm saying. I think the worst team in this division is the next team. That being the Indianapolis Colts. They're over under 6.5. What do we think?
Someone's got to go over.
Under.
Over.
Oh,
I'm taking the over for.
I'll say it
Colts.
again.
Not by much.
Under.
I'm taking the over for the Colts.
Taking the under. I think they're gonna win 5 games this season. I think they'll be one of the worst teams in the entire league.
Yeah, Anthony Rich is going to be QB1 though.
They're gonna
so-
start the season 0-3. Anthony Richardson's gonna come in,
and then
lose his first game. They're gonna be 0-4.
I actually think
Lose
they
their next game, be 0-5. Then he's gonna win 4 straight. Ooh, stuff's starting to happen. And then who knows what happens after that?
I think they actually play the first 4 with Gardner Minshew, and I think they lose all 4 of them.
I
Yeah, I
think
think
they
Gardner.
start the
I
season-
think
I don't think Gardner
Gardner
wins a game.
No, I agree.
I feel like if
I
he's
bet-
already like 0-2,
watch.
0-3, then they
Gardner
already get him out of
Minshew
there.
is going to go 2-2 over his first 4 games.
Who? Gardner? I love Gardner, but he's a backup quarterback.
Watch. 2-2.
There's not
Acting like 2-2 is like
much
super impressive.
good about this team.
I just feel like their weapons is what's going to make them be better than the Texans. Like they have weapons, the Texans don't. That's
They
what
got
separates them, I think.
Michael Pittman, Josh Downs.
Alec Pierce.
And I think the Colts
Jonathan
O-line
Taylor.
overall
I
is
was about
better
to
than
say.
it gets credit for. I know they had a really bad
They were
year last year,
terrible.
but I think overall the O-line as a unit has a slight bounce back here.
I can see that because of the fact that they have Quentin Nelson and Ryan Kelly, who are like 2 of the best in the league at their positions. But outside of that, like Braden Smith had a mid-year after being one of the better right tackles in the entire league. And then, I mean, like, look, your left tackle is the most important position on the offensive line, and that's their biggest question mark. I mean, and then they have another guy whose last name is Fries starting for them currently. So I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't sound like you're gonna be a very good player, Will Fries. I'm sorry, bro. But yeah, no, just look, left tackle is the biggest question mark, and that's an issue. That is an issue. You need that. If any position needs to be solidified on the offensive line, it is most definitely the left tackle position. So I don't know. It's tough. Hopefully they have a bounce back. You'd expect it because of generational talent like Quentin Nelson. But outside of that, I mean, it's rather rough on this team. I mean, the defense is great, but I feel like it's over dependent on 2 players, and those being DeForest Buckner and Shaq Leonard. Kenny Moore's a great player, but they lost Stephon Gilmore, so their depth at corner is kind of shot now. There isn't much talent there. I don't know. It's tough. I don't know what to expect out of this team. Like I said, I just think they're going to be one of the worst teams in the entire NFL. That's what I think personally. But yeah. All right. I thought someone was going to follow me up on
You
something.
said it all.
With something. All right. So next up, I guess this is honestly one of the most boring teams I think in the entire league. And that being the Tennessee Titans.
They're boring because they're about to be in a rebuild.
D-Hop just visited them.
He did. Did you see his post on his story where it
His
said
limo?
welcome to
Yeah.
I think it said welcome to Nashville?
It did.
I mean,
That is where they play.
that was 2 weeks ago.
It was
That
like
was not
this
2 weeks ago. That was literally like 3 days ago.
Yeah, so 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
We're
He has a
back.
point.
It
wasn't really that-
It is 2 weeks
yeah.
ago.
get it.
Yeah, but maybe by the time they're listening to this, he would have signed.
He could be a Tennessee Titan by now.
He's already on the Chiefs.
He's already a Jet.
Well, no, he's currently Well, nah.
I heard he just signed with the
He just
boys.
signed
John
with the
Har.
Patriots, bro. Pretty crazy.
Boys John Har.
Just
He's
signed, yeah.
Yo, he's a Patriot, bro. Mac Jones just flew up my draft board.
Something's
It's been a minute, bro. I wanna
Macaroni
play
and
flag again.
Jones.
We gotta wait till the winter season. Though. All right. So the Titans over under set at 7.5 wins. What do we think?
Under.
Over.
I'm taking the under on 7.5.
I'm also taking the under. This team fucking sucks.
I think
I
they're
agree.
horrible, but
It
they'll
sucks.
somehow
Yeah.
finish in second.
They suck, but they always find a way to get those wins and be
Yeah.
one of the better teams in the division.
Well, yeah, because they have to
I'm
play the
taking that under
Texans and
as
the
well.
Colts
That's true.
twice.
So why do you have them at over?
Because somebody in the division has to go over. That's not the Jaguars, and I'm just
I
picking
picked the
them.
Colts. Yeah.
That's not necessarily true.
And I just think the Colts and the Texans are worse.
I don't.
I think
okay.
the Titans are a solidly run organization. They put out solid teams most years, and I think they could sneak into the second spot and still not make the playoffs. Like, I'm not predicting them to be a playoff team, but I think out of all the teams that can go over their line, I think the Titans are the one.
They had no receivers last season.
They still
They have
don't.
Treylon Burks, but like
They
who
lost-
knows what he's gonna
They
do.
lost Woods, right?
They did
Yeah,
lose.
he's on,
Robert
he's on the
Woods.
Texans.
Robert Woods. He did go to the Texans. Look, Treylon Burks is. You would hope.
That's what I'm saying. Like he wasn't much last season. He could be this year. But
You would hope he takes a big step and
Do we
plays.
do we see Will Levis play at all this year?
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think he should touch the field.
No.
probably
honestly.
see.
You think Ryan Tannehill plays all 17?
I think he should.
Uh,
I'm gonna be honest. I think
see
he
Malik
should.
Willis play some.
Is he even going to be on the? He's not going to be on the roster.
No,
Yes, he will. He'll be on the roster.
Yeah.
He was
You
a
don't
third
think-
round pick 2 years
I think
ago.
You don't
depending
think
how
he
many
gets cut
games they
before-
win in the first half of the season.
Malik is
I think
not
he gets
getting
cut
cut.
before the season.
Malik is not getting cut. I think you trade him before you cut him, and I think someone
Who's
would.
trading for Malik Willis, bro?
I think there's a team out there that would send a fifth or a sixth round pick for Malik Willis.
Nah.
As a developmental quarterback. I think there's a team out there that would do that.
I don't know. He looked really bad.
He didn't. I don't disagree with you, but
Like he showed nothing good.
okay.
To be quite frank.
Okay. All right. I mean, I guess, but wow.
crazy.
Jesus.
I didn't mean to do that right next to Mike.
Wild.
Jeez.
My
Holy
bad.
shit.
That was like the perfect crack.
It was.
Yeah. I mean,
Crack.
the only thing I'll give to you is the fact that I think Mike Vrabel is one of the best coaches in the NFL, and that matters. Coaching matters.
He's listening to you speak.
Yeah,
You're the one
I think
talking.
if there's anything, I think it'll be my. Please stop. You're making me uncomfortable. Mike Vrabel is one of the best coaches in the NFL, so he'll probably get them a win or two.
Nice.
Okay. Anyways, I do have a question though. Like realistically, Derrick Henry eventually just has to fall apart, right?
Either that or get traded. I feel like that was a thing. If maybe like 2 months ago or something.
Isn't he
He
already
was
getting slower? Like a little bit?
not really. The man when he's healthy, he just
Bulldozes.
Yeah.
yeah.
He's just a big old
He's just a big
bulldozer
old bulldozer.
with no goggles.
Why'd you have to do that?
What?
I think we all knew Derrick Henry doesn't wear goggles.
No,
Dean.
but we know another bulldozer that does.
well, did
Yeah.
he did.
I think he straps him up when we're not looking. When he's at home by himself, he's like, click.
It's like Toy Story when the toys come alive and we come see him, he takes them off really quick.
Ortiz, stop staring at me.
All right, can
Jesus.
we move on?
Oh my God.
All right.
What's the next?
Now
team?
the only entertaining team of this division. God. Jaguars over under is set at 9.5 wins. What do we think?
Over.
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 I also have them at over.
It's pretty simple.
Mm-hmm.
They're going
Jaguars
to
are good.
dominate this division.
I would hope
Mhm.
so. The other three teams are really bad.
They might not lose a game.
I'd be
That's
shocked if
division.
they don't get 10 wins, honestly.
I agree. I think they honestly will probably win either 10 or 11. But I think the only issue with this team is the fact that their offensive line is dog shit,
Wow.
pretty much.
It could be their
Robinson is-
downfall. Yeah.
Cam Robinson is going to be suspended for the first half of the season. So, I mean, that's a big question mark, too. He's one of the better left tackles in the league. And then you don't have him. And you two, can you guys name an offensive lineman
Right.
outside of him on
You
that
need-
team?
You need to
Like,
protect Trevor Lawrence, first of all.
it's
You can't
one of
let
the
him go
worst-
down.
It's one of the
Like-
worst offensive lines in the league. If
Right.
I'm being,
you have Travis
entirely
Etienne,
honest.
who's already been hurt for a season. You need to protect him too. It is a legit concern.
But if anything can help them, it's the fact that they have arguably the best weapon core in the entire league.
Yeah, I think the no offensive line is not going to matter much in
it'll-
regular season
Sure, true.
when you're versing teams like this. When you're playing 6 games against your division, I think they will go 5-1 in the division. I think they're capable of winning 5 other football games when they're playing the NFC.
I don't
South.
see any of these teams taking a game.
I don't.
No.
I
I
just
guess, I guess
I
it's
don't
football.
agree.
One of them's
So
probably
anything
gonna
could
win.
happen.
Yeah,
Also,
5-1. 5-1's
The
fair.
Colts are gonna win
A
one.
lot of these teams have in this division do have like solid enough pass rushes. Like a lot of them do to where they can make the Jaguars offensive line or Trevor Lawrence uncomfortable for a game.
Yeah,
or
you're
two.
right. Yeah.
Like that is the only reason I would say that. I think everything else, like the Jaguars are loaded everywhere else on their football team, like literally everywhere else. But I think that's arguably one of the biggest weaknesses you could have, especially come playoff time.
Right.
So I think that'll be the Jags' downfall, unfortunately. But look, it also comes down to how good this defense can be. I think it comes down to one guy, and I think that's the former number one overall pick, Trayvon Walker. I think that's going to be the biggest question mark. Does he take a step? I'm not saying he needs to be a superstar, but a good complementary pass rusher to Josh Allen. If he could be that, then
You're saying like he's their X factor. Like he'll
Yes.
he'll take them over the top if he ends up producing.
I think he's the difference between them winning something like 10 games in the regular season and them winning like 12 or 13. Honestly,
Okay.
I think
And
it's
him
that
by
big.
himself.
Him by himself, because
Yeah.
edge rushers we've seen can make that type of an impact on a
sure.
team.
Yeah.
It's probably the second most important position outside of quarterback, arguably.
No,
They
it
can
is.
wreck
I
a
think
game
it
like
is.
that.
I've been a believer that. Right. It's the counter for the quarterback.
Exactly.
It's the defensive counter. Like
exactly.
for the most important
It's
position.
either that
which
or the
is
offensive line.
Equally as important, right? If you can have a guy that can disrupt the other team's quarterback, that's it.
I'm excited to see what Calvin really looks like this year.
Calvin Ridley is going to be fun
Monster.
to watch. Hopefully, if he's like fully back, because it's been a year and a half since he legitimately played football now.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, he played in 2021. He had, his mental health stuff and
Yeah.
he couldn't play the rest of the season. And then he got suspended for a year. So right, it's been over a year and a half. It's
been
been
a
almost
while,
almost
bro.
2 years.
It's been a while.
Almost 2 years.
All right. So, what are our final standings for the AFC South? Start with fourth place.
Oh,
Or unless you want to start with first, don't matter.
okay. First, second, I had the Colts. Third, I had the Texans.
You want to go?
I had the exact same thing. Colts, Titans, Texans.
Have the Jags, Titans, Colts.
Chris?
Jags, Colts, Titans, Texans.
Man,
Yeah, I have the Jags, Titans, Colts. So, the only one that's kind of different.
Solid.
All right. That was the AFC South, worst division in all of football.
now we go to the second worst division
Now
in
we
all
go
of
to
football.
the second worst division in all of football, yes. We'll start off with a team that just lost the greatest to ever play football. I was gonna
It's only giving him a memoriam.
Well, that is unfortunate. We just lost Tom fucking Brady from the game of football. It's sad. I miss him already. I want Tom to play again. On the Giants. Anyways, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers over/under is set at 6.5 wins. What do we think?
Under.
I'm taking the under as well.
Baker Mayfield's ass.
Over. Because of one man. And this man's name is Baker Mayfield.
They won 8 games with Tom Brady.
With the weapons that they have, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, and Baker Mayfield. He's going to revitalize his career.
Who's their
and
third receiver?
Take him to 8 games. I don't know.
It's Russell Gage.
Rashad Perriman,
It's Russell Gage.
Russell Gage, who
Scotty Miller.
was solid for like a few games in Atlanta. No.
He's solid.
Okay. I've always been of the impression that Baker got the short end of the stick in Cleveland, and The season where he was really bad, I'm not making an excuse for him. He was bad in his last season. He was hurt at the same time, and they kept throwing him out there. His shoulder was clearly fucked up.
Oh, it was ruined.
Needed surgery. Was he cut from the Panthers or traded from the Panthers? He was cut. He was cut from the Panthers. Played solid with the Rams. I think he has a chance to have a really solid season this year. A lot better than he had been.
Define really solid.
Yo, do you pay for PFF, Matt?
I do not. I'm thinking about
I
it.
think I
Though.
might buy that.
I'm
Define
so
really
close to doing
solid.
Just like playing all seven. Don't say playing all 17 games.
Why?
Because he has
Who else are they
fucking
gonna
Kyle Trask behind him.
They'll go over their line. That's a victory in itself. If you could have Baker Mayfield do that for you,
I don't
that's a
know,
win.
man. Winning 8 games in a season isn't a fucking
7.
or 7. Winning 7 games is not a success. I don't care if it's Baker Mayfield
Baker
there.
would.
Like I don't
For
care.
Baker, it is.
Baker is very, very, very good. Like very good.
I just don't think he's the worst quarterback in the
exactly.
league.
So then he should win more than 7 games then.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so how many games do you think he's gonna win?
19.
Over 6.5.
All right, fair enough.
What was our bet?
Our bet was that the Bucks would go under.
Oh, okay.
The Bucks
So
would go
50
under.
bucks.
Yeah, $50 on the fact that the Bucks would go under 6.5 wins because
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield fucking sucks.
No, he
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
The rest of this team, though, as I said before, the rest of this team is loaded. Like it's really good. The offensive line is a little shaky, but that was only because of injuries last season. Outside of that, you get Tristan Wirfs back healthy. You get Ryan. What in the world was that? You get Ryan Jensen back healthy. You added a couple guys. Look, I think this team's going to be solid. I think it'll be solid outside of Baker Mayfield. I think this defense will be top 10. I think the weapons will be the weapons. But like Baker Mayfield sucks, dude. I'm sorry to tell you. And honestly,
Yeah,
it
we'll
probably
see.
was because of the injuries. I'll give you that because I was a Baker guy. And I honestly thought that he did get the shit end of the stick. But also given that fact, he's not who he was prior to that. Those injuries did mess him up, regardless of that.
I think given another year of being able to work on it and another year to heal, will be good.
I guess. I don't know.
Did you do the intro for this?
Oh, yeah. NFC South over-unders.
Nice.
Is that wrong or right? Was that
NFC.
I don't like the wording of that.
Yeah.
Predicting the NFC South over-unders. No. I don't like over-unders.
Over
Overs?
under win totals.
Predicting the over/under win totals for the NFC South.
predicting the over-under win totals for the NFC South?
Solid.
We already did the Bucks, obviously. So
Yes. All right.
next up.
It's time I bid you all a farewell.
Oh man.
I thought you said 115.
I said 1 to 115. I have to leave.
Yeah, we'll give it to 115 then.
It's
I
not
can't.
115.
Yeah, I know. I can't. I have to leave. 115 was pushing it.
Bruv, just finish the segment.
I literally.
All right, so leave.
All right,
Yeah,
goodbye.
Keep talking about it.
Contribute nothing anyway.
Thank you. Good riddance.
Good riddance.
You don't have to fucking throw the
Goodbye
F-
and good riddance.
I didn't.
Goodbye and good riddance.
Goodbye and good riddance.
Goodbye and verdance.
I still see your shadow in my room.
Shut up,
In,
Dean.
In Chris's room.
Shut up, Dean. All right, next up is the Carolina Panthers with the over-under win total of 7.5. What do we think?
Under.
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 I'm gonna be the only one. I'm taking the Panthers over. I think Bryce Young steps in and is immediately at bare minimum an average quarterback in the NFL. At bare minimum, Bryce Young will be an average quarterback from the day that he steps on a football field. Outside of
I
that.
just don't see it, bro. I don't know. I personally prefer CJ Stroud going into the draft. I think Bryce Young has more talent, but I think the size thing matters. I think it'll definitely play a part in his transition to the NFL. All these offensive linemen just being bigger, the defensive linemen being bigger,
See, but
stronger,
here's
faster.
the thing, bro. He's playing at the best program in all of college football, arguably, against the
Oh,
best
wow.
programs in all of college
That's
football.
pretty cool.
But at the
Huge
same
W.
time,
Yeah.
those
What?
YouTube is lowering requirement in 2023.
Yo,
Mm.
let's go.
We don't need lower standards.
Get it?
boys.
No,
Come on.
no. Get us there. Get us there.
But you know what I'm saying? Like I think the size transition is going to matter for him in particular.
I get that, but at the same time, I feel like if you've played at the biggest colleges and against the biggest colleges, you're playing against NFL level size already. Like you've already experienced the fact that you're playing against.
But nothing's NFL level size until you're in the NFL.
I guess the speed is different. I'll say the speed is different, but there's plenty of guys on all of these teams that are 6'5", 6'6". They might not be as athletic or as talented, but they are all going to be massive human beings.
Yeah.
But
I just don't think he's going to be above average or average off the bat.
That's
yeah,
fair.
I think he's going to struggle his first few weeks like any rookie quarterback. I don't think he's going to come in immediately and set the league on fire.
Again, I don't think he's going to set the league on fire either. I just think an average quarterback from the second he hits that football.
I think they're in a good spot.
I agree.
I think they're in a really good spot. I don't think this is the year for them.
I think they win 8 games. I'm not saying they go crazy.
They don't have receiving weapons. They have Adam Thielen, who's old as fuck.
And Terrence Marshall.
DJ Chark, Terrace Marshall.
I like DJ Chark.
DJ Chark's always questionable
Love
too.
DJ Chark.
DJ Chark is always questionable.
Breakout
They added
season.
Hayden Hurst, I'm pretty sure, too. That's another big. It's not big, but like at the same time, they also have a great offensive line, which makes a massive difference. And this defense is legit. This defense is very legit. Led by Brian Burns and J.C. Horn, 2 of the best at their positions in the entire league. You were saying top 10 corners before. J.C. Horn's arguably top 5.
Yeah, I love J.C. Horn.
So, look, this is a solid squad. I think this is a very good team, and they have a bunch of young players that are going to make a big difference for them. So, I don't know. I like the Panthers this season. I like them a lot. But
still going under.
Fair enough. All right, the next team, the New Orleans Saints, over under 9.5 wins. What do we got?
The Saints, I have the over because someone has to do it in the division.
I kind of have the same reason. It sucks. It's a cop out, but I'm taking the over on the Saints.
I'm taking the under. I think their defense is mid at best.
Their defense is mid at best, but they have easily the best quarterback in the division. Easily.
Taking the under.
And I think it's not even close.
I agree. They definitely have the best quarterback in the division.
That's not saying much with this division, though.
It's not, but it makes a difference, and it makes a few games difference.
That's pretty good.
I don't, when I think that the rest of your roster is not good. Like, not good.
Their offense isn't bad.
It's not bad.
What's happening with Alvin Kamara? That's one
he's
question.
in training camp.
The offensive line is shaky at best. Obviously, yes, they have solid weapons, but outside of Olave and Michael Thomas, who we know Michael Thomas is going to get hurt anyway.
That's not true.
It's pretty much
How do you know that,
bro.
Saw the script.
When was the last time Michael Thomas played more than 4 games?
But I'm not going to sit here and predict that he gets hurt again.
I hate to do that, but it's fact. The last time that I saw Michael Thomas play a full season was 2019. It's 4 years ago.
Slant boy.
It's 4 years ago.
I miss Slant Boy.
I do too. He was one of the best receivers we've ever seen.
They have Taysom Hill.
That season was fucking unbelievable.
They have Taysom Hill.
Oh my God, please stop.
They have Jamal Williams.
That defense is going to be atrocious. They have Jamal Williams and they have Kendra Miller. I like both of them, but that defense is going to be bad. Like it has two really good players. Cam Jordan started regressing last season.
And Lattimore, who also
Lattimore is solid. Demario Davis is probably the best player on that defense right now. And he's like 33 or 34 years old.
He's old as fuck.
So a lot of the guys that they have, great names, amazing names, but no production.
Honey Badger.
Little production recently. Like, what have you done for me now? That's what the NFL is.
I just think they're just better than the rest of the division, just straight up.
I don't know. I could see the Panthers.
And I know what
being
team
better than them,
you guys
to
are
be
going to
honest.
argue that would be ahead of them, but I don't agree.
They are. Perfect transition because the next team is the Atlanta Falcons, and their over totals is 8.5 wins. I'm absolutely smashing the over. I think they dominate this division this season.
I'm going under, and it's strictly off. And I know what you guys are going to say about the running game. The running game is fucking great. You add a guy like Bijan Robinson, who is top running back in the league potential. I understand. You have Tyler Algier still. He had a great year. He's only going to add to that, mix. I just don't think Desmond Ritter's good. And I know he doesn't have to be particularly above average. He could be average and they can have success. I just think he's going to be below average. I know he didn't throw a pick in his 4 games. I just don't see him replicating anything close to that.
I don't think you need to replicate that exactly. I'm just saying don't turn the ball over a bunch, because I genuinely think, and this is one of those seasons where I said this prior, but I'll say it again. They're replicating a lot of what I saw out of the Jaguars a few years ago, how they paid pretty much for a defense now. And they've paid a big price for said defense, but at the same time, they added a ton of quality pieces to this defense, which they needed. They traded for Jeff Okudah. They signed a bunch of guys around that defensive line. One being Calais Campbell, who's a vet that's going to come in and immediately take some pressure off Grady Jarrett. There's going to be a solid rotation on this defensive line, which is something that they haven't had.
I just think they're a year away. I think they still need a quarterback. I don't think Desmond Ridder is the answer. I think for them to be a legit playoff team contender, I think either Desmond Ridder needs to take a step that I don't see happening, or they need to go into next offseason looking for a quarterback. Because this team, outside of quarterback, I think is ready to win. I think they need another receiver and call it another quarterback.
They arguably have the best offensive line in football too.
Right.
That helps.
So
they have pieces.
I think that they don't need to be a contender. Legit, they just have to win a division that sucks. Their schedule, just like all these teams, their schedule is so easy.
Yeah.
And I just think out of all these teams, because these teams play each other, both conferences we're talking about, they play games against each other. It's just, I think other than the Jaguars, the Falcons are just the best team. Out of the 8 teams we've talked about, they're the best team.
No, I agree.
And I
can
think
see them winning.
And even if Desmond Ridder struggles, they just have the scheme and the pieces in that scheme on both sides of the ball to be able to win games. They have a running scheme that's going to work and that was the #1 rushing offense in all of football last year and is only going to get better. You have the best O-line in the NFL, and you've arguably a top 5 defense in the NFL that got extremely better. You added the best free safety in the game in Jesse Bates. You added a bunch of beef to your O-line. You have some young players who are still getting better. You have a top 5 corner in AJ Terrell.
We could be talking about like a top 10 defense now.
I think they're a top 5 defense.
Immediate flip of the
I think
switch.
they're definitely a top 10 defense.
There's so much talent on this defense now. And honestly, probably the most versatile safety duo in the entire league. And then you have a third safety in Jalen Hawkins, who is arguably one of the best third safeties you could have in the entire league. I mean, overall, there's just so much. There's so much that I look at. It's a complete team, in my opinion.
I think a team like this in the division and schedule that they've been handed, I think they're honestly locks to have a top 5 rushing attack and a top 10 defense. And I think they have more upside than that. I think they're gonna have.
I think they'll have the best rushing attack.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have the best rushing attack and a top 5 defense. So like that formula is enough to get you over 9.5, 8.5 wins.
Yeah, I have them winning 11 games.
Yeah, I think they're gonna get to 10, 11.
I have them winning 11 games. And I get your concerns with Desmond Ridder, but I will say one thing. I think Desmond Ridder will have a very Daniel Jones from last year-esque type season, if not a little bit better, in my opinion, in terms of just being good at not making mistakes and not messing up. And he has one of the best offensive lines in football. That makes a massive difference.
I hope he does, bro. I like the Falcons team. I like them a lot.
So I don't know.
I think they have a lot of young talent that is in line to make breakouts. You have Drake London. You expect him to take a second-year jump. Kyle Pitts, you just have to expect him to be better than last year. Then you go to the defensive side of the ball. You have my guy, Arnold Ebiketie.
Well, that's the guy, Kyle Pitts, that can transform this offense.
Bro, they have to use him right.
Yeah.
Arthur Smith has to put this man out wide and use him like he's a goddamn wide receiver, because that's what he is. He's a 6'6" wide receiver. That's 250 pounds.
Yeah.
Like,
it's insane.
What are we doing? He was like, we forget that this dude came out and was looked at as a prospect as arguably going to be the greatest tight end to ever play football. Like, greatest receiving tight end to ever play football.
He was like the Anthony Richardson of tight ends.
Right.
He had the Drawing.
Bro,
Drawing.
like it's not fair what he has God-gifted talent and stuff that you don't see out of a guy at that size.
Yeah.
So please use the guy the way he's supposed to be used.
He looks like me out there.
You got more production.
Than me?
No, you.
No, he
You
has
got-
more production than last season Kyle Pitts probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, my 9 catches.
Hey, it's pretty good. It's
They
more.
all came on one drive.
Literally,
That's-
I had 6 or 7 catches in one game, and I had 9 on the season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When
you're
we
beast.
needed you, you stepped up, Dean.
So what's
Y'all
everyone's
ain't just
final
ever need me.
standings for the
What is
NFC
everyone's
South?
final standings for the NFC South?
We
I'll go
have.
first. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, you go first.
In first place, I have the Falcons. Second place, I have the Saints. Third place, I have the Panthers. And fourth place, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Thanks.
You have the Saints and the Panthers?
Oh,
I have the
Panthers.
Saints then the Panthers.
Yeah, I have the same exact thing.
I have
Falcons, Saints, Panthers, Bucks.
Wow.
I have
You go.
Saints, Falcons, Panthers, Bucks.
I have Saints, Falcons, Bucks, Panthers.
Nice.
Nice.
Boo.
Name one player from the NFC South that you think has a chance to break out this year. Actually, let me do that.
We didn't
again.
do the AFC South.
We're gonna
we
go
will,
back
we
to
will.
it.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I was going to say it before.
Who's one player in the NFC South that you think could break out this year?
I'll get it started. Actually, not because I know who you're picking.
I know
so-
who you're picking.
Yeah, go ahead,
Just do
Ortiz.
it.
Go ahead.
Just do it.
All right. It's the guy that I just mentioned and talked up. I don't got to say much about him. I already said everything I could possibly say. It's Kyle Pitts. He's the biggest breakout in, honestly, the entire league for me. I think the man's going to go somewhere near 13 or 1,400 yards and 10 to 15 touchdowns if they just decide to use the guy correctly. I think it's that simple.
I'm going to go with another Falcon on the other side of the ball, Arnold Ebiketie, second-year player out of Penn State. I just think the additions the Falcons made on the interior of their defensive line, it's only going to open up passing rush lanes for him. I thought he was very good last year. You know, the sack numbers probably don't really reflect that, but I thought he showed me a lot of things. He showed he could be the prototypical edge rusher in today's NFL, to have the combination of speed and power and all that fun stuff. So I think he's in store for a big second year.
I have Kyle Pitts.
I'm gonna take Drake London here. I think if he could break out, he not only is that running attack great, I think he could make Desmond Ridder better. Although I don't think Desmond Ridder's all that. I think if Drake London steps up, he could make him look a lot better than he is. And I think he's gonna be one of the X factors for this team.
All Falcons.
All
Yeah.
Falcons.
Falcons all around.
Nice.
The Dirty Birds.
Well,
Yeah.
like we said, they have the most boom potential in the league. So there's a bunch of guys that have an opportunity
Boom,
to
boom,
break out.
boom.
Oh.
All right. Who's one player in the AFC South that you think could break out this year?
I'm gonna go Calvin Ridley. I know we haven't seen him play a full season since 2020. But when we did see him last, he went for 1,400 yards. Has a career high of 10 touchdowns. Like he's proven he could be the guy. And I think with Trevor Lawrence, I think what the Jaguars needed was that number one guy, Christian Kirk, working out of the slot. I think it's just gonna add, I think I said it before, another dimension to their offense that they didn't have before. And I think he steps in and is immediately the number one receiver day one. And it's going to be a team that has a lot of throwing success. So I think it's going to be, I'm going to predict the best season of his career. All for it.
Best season of his career. So more than 1,400 receiving yards. Wow.
It could be catches, touchdowns, even just effectiveness on the field, how much weight you carry. Like, I don't think all of it is, I think
I
you could
agree.
still have a
The
great
attention that
season.
you draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
The plays you drop.
Go ahead.
Making catches in big moments in big games. I think that matters too.
Of course.
Well, you guys talked a lot about him before, so I'm just going to be repeating what you guys said pretty much. I have Anthony Richardson for my breakout player for the AFC South. We just know the type of potential we could get out of him, as you guys touched on before. I mean, you have him. Well, you have him. What, your QB 7?
7 in fantasy football.
Yeah.
And you have him. What, you have him
QB
pretty-
11.
Yeah, you have him pretty high too. I mean, we know what we can get from him. We know how generational this talent is, having a QB who is virtually a running back and
has a fucking nuke of an arm.
Yeah.
So
Anthony Richardson, what a guy.
Who you got, Chris?
My guy's Trayvon Walker, another Jaguar, #1 pick last year. I think he showed me a lot of things last year, a lot of good signs. And when he got drafted, we knew he was gonna be a project player and take some time. In retrospect, Aiden Hutchinson had a better season than him last year, but I still think Trayvon Walker could be really, really good for the Jaguars. And I think he takes his defense to a new level. They have pieces on defense, but if Trayvon Walker has a breakout year, it takes the defense to a different level.
Agreed. I'll stay in the trenches, but I'll go to the other side of the ball, and I'm going to the Tennessee Titans, a guy that they just traded for. That is Andre Dillard from the Philadelphia Eagles. Former first-round pick. He got buried on the depth chart behind arguably the best offensive line in football. Kind of tough when you get behind those guys. I think the issue with Dillard has been the fact that he's moved so frequently between tackle and guard. And now that the Titans have traded for him and they're going to make him hopefully their franchise left tackle, I think being able to stay at one position will unlock the best version of Andre Dillard, which was a damn good player in college. So I think we're going to see that breakout coming this season in a contract year. So there we go.
Nice.
All right.
Guess this NFL team based on their fantasy finishes from last year.
Are these different?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Imagine they were
I was going to say if they were the exact same.
Yeah.
All right. So this team had the quarterback 12, running back 12, wide receiver 17, wide receiver 19, and tight end 26.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
We did say Tom Brady was 12 before. You said
did.
Tom Brady was
Oh,
12.
I
man.
don't even remember that, but
All right. This team had the quarterback 18, running back 8, wide receiver 5, wide receiver 49, and the tight end 10.
Detroit Lions?
No.
Arizona Cardinals.
No.
What was the QB's ranking?
18.
The Miami Dolphins.
No.
The receivers were a lot higher than that.
What was the running back?
One wide
8.
receiver.
Is this the New England Patriots?
No.
Las Vegas Raiders.
No.
Oh, wait, Josh Jacobs was like RB3.
Quarterback 18.
It's not the Packers.
Tennessee Titans.
No.
Jeez, bro. One dominant receiver. Dallas Cowboys.
It is the Dallas Cowboys.
Tony Pollard was 8.
Yep.
Why?
In
Dak was
PPR.
18?
Yep.
He missed a bunch of games last year.
He did indeed.
He missed 4 or 5 games. Yeah, I remember that.
Still led the league in picks. It's kind of crazy.
Yep. Shout out to our partners over at SeatGeek. If you guys don't know, SeatGeek is the best ticketing app on the market. They take the confusion out of buying tickets. SeatGeek ranks their seats on a scale of 1 to 10 and also by color. The red deals mean no bueno, and the green deals mean yay. Good
Let's
deal.
go.
So also, if you use our code BallGamePod at checkout, you get $20 off your first purchase. Again, that's code BallGamePod at checkout for $20 off your first purchase. Huge shout out to our partners over at SeatGeek.
Yeah, be sure to use our code, please, if you haven't already made a SeatGeek account. It's just kind of rough because everyone already has. a
It's free
SeatGeek
money.
account. It is free.
It's
$20.
free $20.
We decided to
We're
gift you
giving
guys.
Just if you guys
$20.
used it already, ask your sister, ask your girlfriend,
Yeah.
ask your
Just
mom. I doubt they
Make an
used
account,
it.
Yeah.
And then pay them. Just pay them the
Like,
money.
thank you to
Or
SeatGeek.
yet
to
Sully will pay them.
free $20
No, I won't.
to anything you want to go to. There's so many events. There's
So many
concerts.
That was an
there's
Ed
Broadway
Sheeran
shows.
concert.
You know
the
how
other
many
day.
green seats there are for an Ed
Bro,
Sheeran
there's
concert?
comedy shows. There's literally everything on
There's
SeatGeek.
an MLB
You
All-Star
could
game,
find
too.
something. You
Yeah.
could find something for like $21 and pay $1.
The home run derby.
You could do anything. You can go
do-
anywhere.
You could do
Where
literally.
where
anything you
is?
wanna
Oh,
do.
and also
I
weekends.
have no idea.
Football matches.
It's in LA.
For
No, it's not in LA.
for
I know
free
where it is.
$20.
Arizona?
Nuts.
Nuts. You know, it really is crazy
It is.
how much you have access to and y'all aren't using it.
Wait, I know, but I just can't remember.
I know who it is.
If
but
you're
I
missing
can't
out, you're
think of
missing
it.
out.
Yeah. Get with the program, man.
Get with the program. Get with the ball game pod code.
It's not going to be Cincinnati.
All
Where
right.
is it? I just want to know this before we go off.
I don't
Seattle.
think they care.
I care.
Where is
and
it?
Sully. Seattle.
Yes, Seattle's a nice stadium. over there.
Seattle's nice.
You go to
Bet it
Seattle
is.
with the code BallGame Pods.
With
But,
the ball game pot.
Well, with the ball
With
game,
the
we
ball
should go
game
to
pod.
So
MLB.
let's have a
All-Star.
fan meetup.
Yeah.
It'll just be like our friends hanging out.
Meet and greet.
We don't got enough
Where?
of that yet.
And it
Dean.
was sleazy.
We don't got enough
Sleazy.
of that yet, Dean.
Sleazy.
That's how we started one of those pods. It was fire.
Far.
They can catch
Anyways.
fire.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. More football episodes coming very soon. And with that,
That was BallGame.